So normally we would have our headphones because we're supposed to be listening to the sound effect, but unfortunately we don't have it here. But of course, I'm going to just be dropping all of them and I'm going to be going into it. So you guys are going to be hearing it. But yep, welcome to our first on the road series for Arts and Speeds. You know, if you guys are new to the channel, you guys know what to do. Subscribe, like. I'm here with some wonderful African gentlemen. The football, I wouldn't just call them footballers. I'll call them football scholars because these guys are strategists, you know, in their own accord. I'll allow them introduce themselves. Some of them have football lineage running in them, you know. It's just unfortunate that they could not represent their country, but they are here. But it's what it is. It's what it is. But yeah, man, thank you guys so much for, you know, listening in. I'm your host, Thomas, and yeah, make sure you share this podcast, like, subscribe. This is the first on the road series. We're going to be doing a couple more, not just with regards to football, but with regards to, you know, visiting people and talking to them, sharing their experiences. And we are here. Tonight is the vigil of the Afcon final. So by the time we're going to be releasing this, most likely we already know who's going to win Afcon 2024. But we're basically going to talk about African football. We are going to look at, you know, how far it has progressed, you know, the improvements. We're going to look at the current Afcon, some things that we believe should be done, our surprises, you know. Like, I'm not sure I was rooting for Nigeria to get to the final, even though I'm Nigerian, but, you know, we're there. And, yeah, you know, what can we do to also improve African football outside? So it's going to be a very, very wonderful conversation. But, yeah, we cannot start without, you know, our audience knowing who you guys are. So we're going to start from my left. Finally, I got it, you know. Sages know what I'm talking about. So we're going to start from our left.
Thanks
you know, sir?
Thanks for the invitation. I'm very honored to be here. Everybody here knows me. I want to extend my gratitude salutation to all panelists here today. And I'm
panelist.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm Inusa from Cameroon. I'm introducing myself just for your audience. Okay?
Yep.
And Inusa from Cameroon, the current captain of Cameroon team in the Kishinewarolo region.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here.
Are you sure it wasn't, you know, by... Sorry? Are you sure it's based on competence?
Competence is terms of what?
That you're the captain. It's not based on nepotism.
No, it's not like, it's not based on politics. Like,
okay.
Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have been here. This high-ranking profile beside me.
Exactly. No. We know you. We've seen you.
Okay, thanks for the invitation. Thanks.
Nice to have you, you know, sir. And then to the main man. To the man they call that took the name after one of Africa's greatest. JJ.
Yes, sir.
Let's go, man.
First of all, I just want to say thank you guys for having me.
Speak out because you know we cannot know when you are like loud.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
First of all, I just want to say thank you guys for having me on this wonderful podcast. I go by Augie, former known as Augustine. But yeah, I'm just here to discuss this wonderful topic that we're having today.
Awesome.
So hopefully it's a great one. Let's go.
Awesome. And to the only guy that is representing Nigeria, you know, you are surrounded.
What are you?
You are surrounded by your enemies. Just know that. Because I'm going to ask, you know, sir, what happened against, you know, that game when Nigeria played, you know, Cameroon, and then how and I believe it was just 1-0. How were we able to scale through? But yeah, man, coach, introduce yourself. Let us know who you are.
Yeah. Well, again, thanks, guys, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and to have these guys around who I've had the opportunity and privilege to work with and to play with as well. My name is Chidi. I'm from Nigeria, proudly Nigerian. And I don't see these guys as enemies, but whatever. Maybe football rivals, but but yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. So let's get this going, man.
Yeah, 2024 Afcon. A lot of, you know, different things, lots of changes compared to what Afcon used to be. In the previous years where you had Afcon, you had about 16, it used to be 16 countries, but in this year you have 24 countries.
Yeah.
The prize money has actually gone up, you know, by, I believe, by 40%. So the winner gets $7 million, I believe. You know, the entire event is changing. But then as well, it looks as if if we juxtapose the tournament with regards to African football and where African football is, and you know the vibe that the Afcon used to have. Back then, the Afcon used to be a very, very big thing. You know, we used to look forward to the Afcon. I believe then it was called CAF, you know, Confederation of African Football. But now I don't see that enthusiasm. You know, maybe I'm isolated. Maybe this feeling is just isolated. But even in the continent, you know, back then you had people traveling as fans to go and support, you know, this nation. So like looking back, because you guys are football lovers just like myself, what has necessarily improved about the Afcon, you know, compared to what we have this year, aside from more countries participating and you know, the prize money and all? Like what do you think is one good thing that has changed and we can say, you know what, I think African football is actually picking up? It could be like, you know, local players representation and all. But yeah, I mean, your country was in the Afcon. Awesome. I believe that, I don't know, you guys, what has changed for you guys, you know, with regards to how the Afcon is? I don't know the last time Liberia went to the Afcon, but we'll leave that for another day.
Let's leave that for
You guys are always...
Let's talk about Guinea.
Oh, okay, yeah, but yeah, let's
say
what has changed?
From the early days to now, things have changed for the better,
Yeah.
according to my point of view. Like
Okay.
say structure and organization-wise. As you just mentioned, we moved from 3 teams, that is in 1957, 3 teams competing for the Afcon, to now 24
Yep.
teams. That's recent change in 2017. And there is also this, the tournament format has switched from like to being held in hot numbers. I don't know if that is an advantage, but the way I look at what I want to point here is, so the format of 24 teams have put a lot of pressures to hosting countries to improve their infrastructure, like say soccer infrastructure, as well as maybe some of the logistics. For instance, in Cameroon, we hosted Afcon in 2021, and we invest a lot of money building stadium that meet international standard. And we also invested money in let's say, in improving our tourism sector, because we know Afcon is being broadcast worldwide and to reach every nation.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity for African countries to also shine and so that and let's say attract visitors.
Yep.
And what we see after the Afcon is the emerging or several emerging player development and youth programs in place. Just let's say with the idea of bringing in or keeping or maintaining the same sensation nationwide, because people have been getting involved in a lot of celebrations and this benefit to the youth. And in addition to that, what I want to also add is I believe that we will see very soon 2 African countries, let's say, requesting to co-organize a World Cup. Why do I say so? If we look at the upcoming World Cup, it's going to be hosted between
Canada
US,
and the US.
Canada and
Mexico.
US, Canada, and Mexico. And if you saw 48 teams, 48 divided by 2, it is 24. So Cameroon hosted in the format of 24. Ivory Coast is doing the same thing. It means that Ivory Coast and Cameroon actually can host a World Cup. And that is what I see as benefit structural organization was. And that is, let's say, I think one of the hidden ideas that motivated the CAF as a governing body to, let's say, to improve or let's say to decide that we need to move from 3, 8, 16 to 24.
Yeah, great observation.
Yeah.
Great observation. Ogi, to yourself, I believe you've been following African football, you know, from
Not just American football.
No, everyone.
I believe you've been following African football, and you're a lover of African football. Do you still believe? And again, like I started following this from when I was very, very young. You know, looking up to the Rashidi Yekinis, to all those guys like that. You know, looking forward, you know, to them, you know, play. Is there still that enthusiasm in the Afcon whenever it's coming up? You know, do we honestly be like, you know what, the Afcon is coming up? Like most people would close their shops very, very early to go home. Most people are into bars, you know, and you know, like,
Absolutely.
is it still there? The ginger for the Afcon necessarily?
I think personally, from what I've seen and heard, it's hard because you got to remember, like back in the days when people used to close their shop, put their market on hold, and travel from one country to another country. It's not like here where when you want to travel, you can take the plane. Back home, we have to take. We took the bus,
Of course.
walk,
Of course.
drove. So, with that being said, it's like you did all of that knowing that the corruption was so big back then compared to now. Whereas like when you went to that, you knew exactly what country. You can make an early prediction as to what country's going to win and what country's going to be in the final.
Yep.
But now you can't do that.
Oh, okay.
The reason being is because now tournament has banned so much, where it's like it's all over the world now. You know what I mean? Like big European countries are watching it. You see like FIFA presidents leaving from here, going back home to go see the game, even to watch the game over.
Yeah.
It's been televised. It's been social media is big now. So with that being said, it's like now you can't really sit there and say, okay, well, this country's gonna win. You can predict that.
Okay.
Like example earlier when Osa and I was talking, we were saying, okay, well, at the beginning of the tournament, countries are predicting that Morocco and Senegal will make it to the finals. If you did that back then, guarantee that would happen. But now you can't. Right?
Oh, okay.
Because new teams are coming out, hunger.
Underdogs.
Yeah, they don't care. They're just going out there to play to prove their country right.
Do their thing.
Yeah, do their thing. So it's like now when you go watch the tournament, you're actually excited. You're not just rooting for your country because it's a big continent.
Yeah.
We root for Africa. Whatever country make it, we make it. So
Awesome.
we're just out there just enjoying the game.
Awesome.
And that's what it comes down to. So
Also, Coach.
Yeah.
I would rather, not necessarily ask you with regards to how the game has gotten better, but then we have lots of African legends, so many, from time immemorial. And of course, you guys can chime into this anytime. But then it looks as if we look outside the continent to find coaches to train our teams, to take us to tournaments. That's something that's still going on. The current Nigerian coach, I believe, is a foreign person.
Yeah.
I don't know the statistics right now with regards to the other teams, but then I know that there's still a very, very large foreign influence. Are we trying to say that our legends are not capable of taking us to these tournaments and winning? The last time we won the Afcon was in 2013. That's Nigeria. And then it was, Stephen Keshi that took us,
Yeah.
But what is holding us back from using our local or our own people? I don't calling them local is somehow using our legends and having training programs, to make these guys international coaches like the way they do it in England, where Gerrard, once he's done from Liverpool and England, he goes to maybe Scotland and then he does his thing, does training. Why are we still relying heavily on foreign influence?
I think that has changed over time with that heavy reliance on international coaches. Because if you look at the current Afcon, 24 teams, more than half are nationals.
Yeah.
And I think that is changing with regards to your question. I looked at Senegal. They've had their coach for almost 5 years now, or more than that.
10 years.
Yeah.
Morocco.
Morocco, Tunisia, and even the rest. Even countries as little as Cape Verde, Guinea, Equatorial Guinea, I would just say most Congo as well. But if you look at country like Egypt had a Portuguese coach. Ivory Coast, that's in the finals, had, I think, a French coach.
Jean-Louis Gasset.
Yes. But he was almost, they were just like
Yeah, it was fired up.
almost out, if not for some changes and results that led to them qualifying as one of the third best teams.
Okay.
But they fired that man because he lost to Equatorial Guinea 4-0. And they brought in their ex-international player
Okay.
who has steered them up all the way to the finals. That is one of the things I'm scared about for tomorrow's finals.
Okay.
Reason? Because we have a Portuguese coach, Nigeria, and sometimes, honestly speaking, sometimes I'm like, I wish that when I remember that it's Nigeria that's in the finals,
Yeah.
I want Nigeria to win it. But when I think that it's a foreign coach, Without Nigeria, I would like want Ivory Coast to win it.
Because they have like a coach from their side.
Yeah, it's an ex-international player of theirs, in the dugout. One of the reasons I think you should, and if you look at the entire world, right, at the world level in terms of World Cups, there's never been an international coach that has won a World Cup with another country. It's always local.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire history of the World Cup. So, coming back to that question, I think that is changing because Samuel Eto'o feels right now as the president of the Cameroonian FA, although he wanted to resign, but he was rejected, he trusted Rigobert Song to do the job. I believe that Rigobert Song was doing a better job than the former coach they had.
Okay.
And even though there are few things that he still has to,
that is a different debate.
That even though there are things that they will still have to improve, but I think that they are getting enlightened, they are getting studying, the going out there. All of them that played in Europe, nothing stops them from getting their UEFA license, or even CAF, the Confederation of African Football, improving their coach education system to be able to meet up to the standard of, coach education compared to Europe.
Okay.
So I think that gap is closing. That I don't see that, and I think again, come the next World Cup, with this, if Nigeria loses tomorrow, it will also set a standard for African nations.
Okay.
To go for their own
players as coaches.
Yes.
I see that.
But part of the issue that I see with African football is like it's a lack of belief
in our own.
Yes, in our own system.
Correct.
It's not because of our coaches aren't capable of doing it. Like for example, like Cameroon, Onana came back. All right, Onana came back to join the Cameroon national team. The day that he came back, they had a game the next day, and he expected to start.
Should he have started?
No.
I don't think
If you were a coach, would you have started?
I would have
He
never
did
started
not-
him.
he did not
Right?
start.
Because you got to
Not at
remember,
all.
if he did that to United, he would have been disciplined for that.
Yes.
But what happened? When he did that to Cameroon,
In fact, the question I have is, should he have been allowed to
even
come
play?
into
He
the team?
shouldn't have
Absolutely
even
not.
come back. He should have stayed in United.
Right?
I have something to say about
Yes,
it.
go on. You're Cameroonian.
Okay,
Go on.
Because, before Onana signed with
Man United.
Man United, he was already retired internationally.
Okay.
So
why did he retire internationally? That's another question.
Because of the problem.
The politics.
That goes back to the World Cup
Politics.
Qatar 2022.
Yeah.
politics.
That is, let's say politics, because he has his own point. There was a science that, let's say, the kind of exercise that they had with the coach that asked everybody to speak his mind. So that is kind of auto-assessment, internal assessment. And Onana was actually giving his point of view. That does not, let's say, match with what the coach was expected.
Okay.
And someone is like, he was rejecting, let's say, the central back that was actually selected by Samuel Eto'o. That was Samuel Eto'o's player. So it looks like he was challenging Samuel Eto'o, and they decided to just put it aside. He was not happy because he thinks that he has already reached the level that he has to take his own responsibility for the team.
But with that being said, and this is what I've said, the lack of belief, right? As a coach, if you select your center back, okay, and you tell your players to speak their mind, that doesn't necessarily mean that he get to undermine what you've said. Right?
Correct.
If a coach, if I pick my center back and I tell my goalie, okay, I want you to speak your mind and tell me how you feel, and then he come to me and say, hey, listen, I don't believe in those center backs. I want you to change those center backs.
Yes, he says that we want to play high defense. I want to cover their back because we need to win the second game. Because we lost the first game, we need to win the second game. If we expect to cross the first round, we have to play high. But when we play high, we need some people who can make the run. When they will be, the return, like kind of coming back to defend.
Let's not delve into the politics and all that goes into football, because most of the time politics sucks the joy out of football.
Yes, it does.
Man.
It does.
The energy.
It does. Yeah, it sucks the energy out. Now let's talk about why we're here, the Afcon 2024.
So if you allow me to say something about internal or like foreign coaches and our local stars, it's the same issue. Let's say in Cameroon we are like 95%. Let's say Cameroonian are 95% agree that we prefer local stars, let's say, to train to be the coach of our senior national team.
Okay.
And the reason is that it's like an investment on our local talents. Let's say we build from within, and we want to nurture our own. There is something people used to say that we need to learn from the best if we want to earn more, right? But there is no school program in this world that does not have graduation date. So we cannot be since 1957 that we've been playing with foreign coaches until 60, maybe 70 years after. We still believe that we are not mature enough to take our own responsibility. And that's why I really think that it is time for us. But we are not rejecting foreigners. It's that so long as we say we want the local star to take their responsibility.
Okay.
We can, let's say, we expect to see foreigners.
Let me chip in one thing before we go.
30 seconds. Let's go.
With this coaching thing.
Yeah.
So this is what I have thought about, and I think because besides the lack of belief in ourselves, which is also a common thing, even outside football, but I'm going to use Nigeria as an example. I think the reason why Nigeria goes for a foreign coach is the side of corruption, where you can negotiate. This guy, for example, if I deal with Augie might know when I'm cheating him. I could actually, Augie will not allow me to do that, even though I'm trying to employ him, and he will not allow me to owe him.
Oh, okay.
Now, a foreign coach, because he's going to be paid in dollars, I think that there is this maneuver of stuff whereby, okay, we're going to give him $60,000, and then we say to the public he's getting 70, and when we share $10,000, this is what I think.
That is exactly what is happening.
So this is what I think. That's why they keep going to, especially for countries that are known for corruption in the administration of the game, not just the players, but in the administration of. That's why I think they still go.
But even with just to piggyback on what you just said, in terms of paying the foreign players less than what they're worth, or paying our own players what they're worth, right? And it also comes down to the players that come from overseas, right? Like, for example, let's say Mo Salah, right? Mo Salah come from Liverpool. When he comes, he's treated completely different than the other players. And then if I see that as a player, I don't care who you are. We're on the same team. We're fighting for our national team.
Yep.
So if I'm coming in and I'm being treated less than this person, Mo Salah come in, he needs to be treated a certain way. He has this, he has that. I get it, it's Mo Salah, but at the end of the day, we're fighting for the same badge.
I get that,
so
man.
he should be treated the same way.
1,000%.
And it comes down to the coaches again, like our own local coaches, right? Our players that come from overseas mistreat the coaches that we bring from home.
Yes, they lack respect for them.
The respect is not there.
That's a big
if a foreign
issue.
coach come from a different place, guess what? They're sitting there listening. They're not, you know what I mean? And then that's when the whole corruption thing come in.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes a whole chaos and
Yeah.
lack of belief, and everything just goes downhill.
Also on
Ivory Coast
viewpoints.
is a good example too.
Also on viewpoint. I'll be honest, but I honestly don't see that happening like in places like Ghana, where you have like IU, doing all of that. Maybe it could be happening, but maybe it's not, as visible as we
Could be behind
tend to
closed
see.
door.
Exactly. All right. So looking at the fixtures for this 2024 Afcon, which particular game surprised you the most? Which game were you looking forward to and you were like, what, these guys are going to trash the living hell out of these guys, and then it went the other way? Which game? Let me start with sir. Cameroon, like which of the games, was it at the group stages or what? Like, did you think we're supposed to do
from the
good?
beginning to the end, Cameroon has always been a surprise for me, but not for me.
Was like a good surprise or a bad surprise?
Bad surprise.
Okay. So you don't have confidence in your people?
I'm a player.
Okay.
And when you make the selection,
Okay.
you know if you can go far or not. I can tell you. Because football does not also lie in justice.
Okay.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
we play, let's say Nigeria eliminated
Cameroon.
Cameroon.
Okay. So that was your
After 100 minutes of game, with 0 shot on target from Cameroon, even our own Simba team here. I don't think Nigeria.
What are you talking about?
What are you trying to?
I don't think Nigeria can win us without any shot on target.
Are you kidding
That is
me?
unbelievable.
Exactly what I was talking about. Lack of belief.
Not lack of belief, but I don't know.
So that fixture, that particular fixture got to you.
It really hurt me.
Did you bet with people?
I did not bet. If you go to bet on something like Cameroon team national team, it means that you are not
Give up anything.
Yeah, you don't know what we're doing. Actually, that's what it means. So let's say the eliminations just left me indifferent. I was not
my
even
goodness.
surprised, not shocked, not upset.
Yeah.
In fact, I was even relieved that because it was not, say Cameroon was eliminated by Nigeria. That is the old story, like because it's Nigeria at least. But I was fearing the humiliation by a random team.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So like, you are happy it was even Nigeria that
Yeah.
did it.
Yes, it wasn't like
People know that's Nigeria.
Be another country that you
Oh,
would
okay,
have
okay.
been
Angola.
It would have been worse.
The football that Angola was playing,
Embarrassment
or
would have been a lot
Mauritania,
worse. I got you.
that
I
was
got
been
you.
a different story.
Yeah.
We should be like, okay, Cameroon, how Cameroon can accept this nonsense? But when it comes to Nigeria, so even back in 2015, Nigeria did the same thing, okay? It means that is something that
So
we
you're
are
happy with
following.
it?
Yeah, we are happy because Nigeria also, they were even afraid of us. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because they could have even
I have
done
one
better.
story
Worse than that.
of,
Sorry?
of one of this Cameroon match. So I was talking to one girl. She's Cameroonian.
Yeah.
And then like we had barely met. So she asked me if, you know, if I was going to see the game. I was like, there was no point of me seeing the game. That we're going to trash them. So she was like, oh. So she now wanted to start bantering and now, you know. So I now called her, I'm like, listen, don't banter with Nigerians. You are going to regret it. Then she goes, oh, for someone that is too confident to win, you're talking too much. I'm like, okay, no problem.
Those are people who do
Then
not
she
know
sent me,
which players.
she sent me like a picture of the lion with the eagle in the mouth.
Yeah.
I'm like, aye, don't worry. Aye, don't worry.
Yeah, it's the same thing that we do. Let's
And then you know anything?
we rely on our history to play football. But when we get to the pitch, the
Yeah.
reality is there.
And then, of course, like, you know, the game ended as it was. I did not say anything. Like, I did not say anything until, like, after, like, 3 days after. Then I was not like, oh, that I've given you enough time, you know, to grieve your loss, basically. You know how the girl stopped talking to me? I'm dead serious.
Wow.
She stopped talking. Like, she literally said, listen, like, we cannot talk anymore.
Oh my
I'm dead.
goodness.
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. But to you, Ogi, you followed the game. You saw, you know, the fixtures and all. Which of the fixtures were you particularly surprised by?
I was surprised about
First of all, your country is not in the tournament.
No.
So who were you supporting?
Guinea. Because
Okay.
I grew up in Guinea, right?
Oh, okay.
Like,
Like Equatorial Guinea or,
No,
or
like
Guinea-Bissau?
Guinea.
Okay. Okay.
Because we, during the war, we crossed from Liberia to Guinea. And,
So
yeah.
do you speak Portuguese?
No, we don't.
No,
we
they speak French.
Oh, it's French there?
Yeah. Angola speak Portuguese.
Angola speak. And
Oh, okay.
Mozambique.
Mozambique, yeah.
Oh,
That we used to speak French.
So when we, obviously I was supporting Guinea since Liberia is not in there.
Yeah.
And then, like, back to your question, the match that actually surprised me the most was Ivory Coast and Senegal. And the reason being is because the way Ivory Coast started the tournament, you know, like, whatever they had going on behind closed door, nobody knew about it, whatever. They were just, I thought they were going to be knocked out. The host nation was going to be knocked out early.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
like
I was
by 3-0,
yes,
something like this.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Senegal's going to just
Even Senegal
wipe
was
these
having
guys.
that intention
Yes,
already.
and the way
So
Senegal was,
that's-
the way they started the tournament, they were just, you can tell they haven't even hit second gear because it's just the tournament, as time progressed, the tournament became easier and easier for them. They were just dominating team, you know, just running over teams. So I'm like, oh, Ivory Coast is they're in trouble.
Yeah,
But then when the game started, you can tell like the home crowd got into them and they were outplaying Senegal, winning that second ball, that, you know, fighting. And that's to show you that if you won the game, you can go get it.
Yeah.
Right? It's there for the grab. So that was the biggest surprise for me when they beat Senegal. I thought the team that was going to win that tournament was Senegal for sure.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they have introduced some love in their way of playing now. I don't know
What do you mean
has
love?
changed. Because it's like the commitment or the level of engagement that players have to.
They believe
for
in the
game.
coach.
You know, if when you see
that.
how Osimhen plays, this is a national team for him.
Yes.
So he's ready to die,
To die on the
for
field.
the victory.
Coach,
That's what we mean.
at
Yeah.
round of 16, we had Angola, Namibia, we had Nigeria, Cameroon, we had Equatorial Guinea, we had Egypt, Congo, we had Cape Verde, Mauritania, we had Senegal, Ivory Coast, we had Mali, Burkina Faso, we had Morocco, South Africa. Now, at that point, who did you think, like between Angola and Namibia at round of 16, who did you think was going to make it out?
Angola and Namibia, for me, I think it was a 50-50. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Even, I watched that game. Angola's goalkeeper got the red card.
Yeah, there were those.
He got a red card.
Both teams had the red card.
Yeah,
Yes,
they did.
yeah, but it was first with Angola, right? And then whatever that happened there, Namibia got theirs.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Angola had played a very good game, as the tournament progressed. But in that round of 16, if you tell me that South Africa was going to beat Morocco, I would say you have not, you're not. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not just beat Morocco 2-0 and have a red card.
Yes.
Because Morocco got a red card.
Yes. So if you tell me that, I would not believe that South Africa will beat Morocco. The other one that I was thinking maybe was Egypt.
Yeah.
Egypt was another one.
Egypt and DR Congo.
At some point, you just realize that Egypt becomes a very ordinary team without Mo Salah.
I think, okay, so I would not like for us to just disrespect Egypt like that.
No, it's not. It's
The
not.
pharaohs
it's-
of
it's-
Egypt,
No, it's
they
not.
have,
It's not a matter. So let's look at this. Egypt and South Africa are the only two teams that have more than half of the members of the squad from one particular team. Or from their local league.
Oh, okay. Ali and...
But I think South Africa had more. That was why the cohesion, the chemistry of the players on the pitch was second to none.
Definitely.
It was second to none. Because they have almost 8 players from Sundowns on the starting 11.
yeah.
Egypt had similar. So they were the two teams that had most players from their local league.
Okay.
Which shows that maybe they are, they have cohesion, they have chemistry, they have understanding. They could even have more training sessions more than any other team, because all of these other guys, they were all playing in Europe and they were all scattered abroad, right?
Yeah.
But that Morocco, South Africa was something else.
Okay.
Egypt, so, but I never expected it.
Egypt even crosses the first group stage. I don't know, maybe only by 3 points.
They were also third
drew.
best team. One of the third best team.
So I don't think they could have even.
So now at the quarterfinal, of course, Cameroon is out. So you had Nigeria with Angola, DR Congo with Guinea, Mali, Ivory Coast, Cape Verde, South Africa. Who was the shocker in there for you? I honestly, for me, this was very, very open in the sense that Cape Verde beating Mali. I don't know, Mali seems to have gone down over the years with regards to their progress in football. They're no longer as lethal as they used to be. But then even Ivory Coast as well, because there's been a lot of red cards in this tournament.
A lot, man. That's
Like a lot. So we're going to
shocking.
even talk about the referees as well, because the referees are very, very, that's a very, very key component with
think
regards to football in sport.
Yeah.
That they're going to introduce that blue card, something.
But I
like this.
think,
No,
What do
forget
you
the
mean blue card?
We're not even talking about
I
that.
think the referee's been doing really good.
Okay.
They've been fantastic.
Yeah, because I can't, like, a lot of these red cards that these guys have gotten,
Deserve.
anyway, they deserve.
Only the,
Are you serious?
The guy from
Dead serious.
Sergio Mane did not get a red card. But
Wow.
Oh,
was
yeah,
red
that
card.
tackle.
Yeah,
I think
that should have been a red.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
that
other
would've
than
been
that,
red
I
too.
think the referee's been doing really good.
Hmm.
Because you got to remember before, like previous African tournament, it was like where referee protected star players.
Are you serious?
Yes. Whereas like you can't really, like for example, if Mo Salah's on the ball and something
Yeah.
happened, the referee would like,
Yeah, they
You
were
know,
just
you know,
kind of.
I was talking
But
to
They'll give him a pass.
yes.
I was talking to a coach. He said to me, I think our VAR in Afcon is better than the whole of Europe.
I agree.
Are you serious?
I
Yes.
agree.
Are you serious?
It's
I
better
agree.
than the whole of Europe.
I agree.
So what's the difference? Is it the people reviewing it, or of course it's not the technology,
Not
because
it's-
it's
because the
not
technology is
technology.
the same.
It's not the technology. It's the people reviewing it, and
Yes.
they're not afraid to make the call.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Okay.
The right
Right?
decision.
The right
The
decision.
right
They don't care
decision.
who you are or what team you play for. If it's a red, It's a red.
It's a
You know,
red.
so you don't have a problem with
If it's a
VAR.
penalty, it's a
It was
penalty.
awesome.
Exactly.
The referee, like say the referee in general, I did not have any problem, or like you say, see any injustice going on.
Okay.
So just like sometimes it was funny, like saying
I think where I had a little issue with the referee
Osh-
was Nigeria Angola. They came to break legs.
Are you serious?
I think they were so hard on the Nigerian
So you're saying that they
players.
should have seen some red cards?
Not red cards, but make some calls.
Okay.
But again, I think referees would normally leave the game to go. Again, it's a battle of who's got the mind.
Yeah,
Of
but
course.
the further you go into the tournament, the harder it become. Right? 'Cause
definitely,
then-
yeah, that's what we know.
especially in the knockout rounds.
Knockout is
guys,
like-
guys don't want to go home.
All for one.
My
For
goal
all.
is to stop your star player.
Yeah.
Of course.
So
There's no extra-
Nigeria's
there's
playing.
no-
Okay, if I can slow down Victor Osimhen,
Yep.
we have a better chance of winning.
Yeah.
If we don't, we know if you give him half a chance, he's going to put it away.
Cameroon,
so
yeah,
whatever
that
chance
is-
we
that
have,
is-
kick
that
him,
is- that
do
is
this, do that,
how-
which is understandable.
A Cameroonian coach was trying to, rely on. Let's block this guy here. And then they introduced a guy that haven't even played 1 minute since the competition started. They brought him from the bench because he has the same size.
You know that?
But
Do you guys normally have a Cameroonian conference? Because I think you have so many grievances that you need to actually. You need to. Yeah, you need to.
let it go, like,
You need to.
the thing is,
you
list
guys
everything.
are bottling in a lot.
What is
my-
actually going on in politics has reshaped my mind. So most of the thing that we do back home is completely wrong. Cameroon as a country
Okay.
is like an abandoned boat in the middle of sea.
Okay, no, don't let us get into Cameroon as a country
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Let's
I'm just saying.
yeah, semi-finals. I think if you look at it, were you surprised, with the result of Ivory Coast, DR Congo?
No.
No. Complete
I mean,
domination.
historically, no. But I think DR Congo has played very fantastic football, and they played cohesively.
Yeah.
And for me, I have watched the Afcon more than I have watched European football throughout this time that it has been going on.
Okay.
Of course.
Because the level of football has gone so, it's like 1,000% better
Are you serious?
than what it
That is
was
why
in the last Afcon.
Are you serious?
In the last
Definitely.
Afcon.
Not even like in the
Not
last
10
decade.
years ago. No.
Yeah.
In the last Afcon.
Look at the facilities.
The
fields.
game, the
fields.
facility, the ref,
Yeah. Like
You know,
said,
the officiating.
infrastructure, everything.
Yeah.
you know.
We're
the
ready
small
to
countries-
organize World Cup now.
the
Ready.
small countries that came to, in quotes, small countries by population. Cape Verde. Cape Verde played one of the best footballs for me.
Yes.
I was
You
seeing
know.
Cape Verde in the final, honestly.
They played one of the best football. Namibia
Go and
played
confirm with Ghana.
very
Ghana
good
have seen
football.
from Cape Verde.
And you know what? I think that some of the big boys, especially maybe, let me just not name names.
No, name names.
No, of course.
Like, let's say Cameroon, North African teams.
Ghana.
They thought Ghana. They thought it's going to be the same thing.
Like walking
because
the park.
when you have the
Yes.
status quo, when you have the status quo getting into a game, your confidence is high. But you have the underdog coming in, who's like, no, you did it before. Maybe you
course.
have a history of giving me 3-4-5-0 before, not this one. Even Ivory Coast, when they played Equatorial Guinea,
They were 100%
they
sure to win.
were humiliated in front of their president 4-0. That was what led to the firing of the coach that they fired.
Yeah.
And they went to borrow the France women's head coach, who had won Afcon with I think with them before, and also with Zambia.
Yeah, he did with Zambia.
Yes, with Zambia and with them, the last one they won, they went to borrow him from the French Federation because he was coaching the French women's national team.
Yeah, but-
and they said to him, no. So that tells me that, you see the next World Cup, and with the expansion,
But put it this way, okay?
let me leave that comment.
For
to
example,
them.
like we had, like you have Ivory Coast, like what you just said. The way they started the tournament, they got beaten 4-0, and then they fired their coach, right? But if you look at the players that Ivory Coast have, like individually, they have really, really good players.
Very good players.
But
very good players.
As a coach, like, again, it comes down to man managing. Can you get those players together to
Yeah,
play as
build
a
that
team,
cohesion.
Right? For example, like Ghana. Ghana wanted to play Andre Ayew because
Is Andre Ayew,
he's Andre Ayew. Like
Yeah.
if you're
the son of the legend.
Yes, if you're not there, you're not there. I'm sorry. right? We got this. This is the problem that we always have, and then I feel like we need to take out of our system, right? We got to allow young guys to come through the root of everything, right? Like Jordan, his brother,
even unknown
his brother's
players
good.
too.
But
Even
Andrea,
unknown
you should
players.
not be on that team whatsoever. Because if you're looking at it, you just took a spot of a young guy that can come and shine,
Yeah.
right? Because you're Andrea, you had your time. Thank you for your services, but your time is done.
I appreciate you.
Chasing the record,
Yes.
right? Chasing the
It's
record
not
of
about the
most
record.
appearances.
It's not about the record anymore.
You know, and again, as the captain, you know, you have to sometimes give chance.
Yeah,
and
give
that's
that
why I
room.
don't believe that players should be in the national team beyond the time they can perform.
Yes.
Especially for me, to play in the national team, you must be first team player in your club. If you're not a first team player
Standards.
at your club, at the club level, you should not be in the national team, because the national team should be to select the best to represent the country.
That's what we
not
want.
maybe those who've had. I hear people, for example, in the Nigerian national team, why is Ahmed Musa not played a minute? No, where is he been? Where is he playing right now? He does not even have minute. Now you have the goalkeeper that Nigeria is like chanting his name everywhere.
Nwabali.
He's unknown. Prior to him starting this Nations Cup, the first game of the Nations Cup,
That guy playing
the last time he played was 4 years ago, and that was his only cap.
The last time you played
The last
international
time he
football.
played was 4 years ago.
Wait, are we saying international football or the last time you played
for
football?
Nigeria.
Oh,
The last
okay.
time he played for Nigeria was 4 years ago. So his second cap was in the first game of the Nations Cup. So, you know, in affirmation to what you said, giving chance to people who you see they are performing at club level,
Yes.
you know, not because they are a big name in the national team.
Oh, it needs
And
to
if you're
stop.
not, Spain, for example, if you're not playing first team football in your club, at club level, you are not getting into the national team.
So, today, third place, South Africa, DR Congo played. Honestly, of course, we witnessed, you know, the Nigeria's game with South Africa. Were you guys expecting more from South Africa? Like, because the game went to penalties, 6-5. Were you guys actually expecting, you know, the game to end, you know,
Absolutely,
at regular time
Especially
without
the way-
going to 90 minutes?
especially the way they played Nigeria. Right after being down a red card and still was able to equalize that game.
Yeah.
And then today's game is just like,
Yeah, it was funny.
what happened? Like, you know, you went from playing Nigeria, one of the top teams,
Yeah.
you know, and then today it's just like I just felt like they just wanted to just go out there and just.
I think there's just usually that drop in energy, especially when you just notice
the
they're playing
energy
for
just
third place.
dropped massively.
Yeah,
I was
I
in
mean,
shock,
when
right?
you lose a semifinals, you know,
you lost to the better team.
depending on your level, right? Honestly, in football terms, on the pitch, they were much better than Nigeria.
Yes, yes.
On football terms,
Correctly.
you know, they. If I don't go with who deserves to win, it's who played to win. So they played to win, but Nigeria had a different approach and strategy.
But can I say
And
something
spirit.
about Nigeria though?
Yeah.
And one thing I gotta applaud Nigeria coach for. There's a way that he goes about. He has his ways. Like I don't care who's playing. I don't care who we're playing. We have our system. We stick to our philosophy.
That's right.
And the players have bought into that. You got all they need is one goal. If they get that goal, it's over with.
It's Jose
Right?
Mourinho
Just-
style.
like, you know what I mean?
It's Jose Mourinho
Then you
style.
pack boss.
Literally, like the coach have
No,
gelled
it's
into
not
them.
packing the boss, eh?
No,
It
I'm
just-
just saying Mourinho style now.
No,
style is packing
Mourinho
boss.
style is not packing the boss. It's a system of play
Yes.
that limits the opposition from scoring goals. And if you get a chance, you go. Now, another thing is this. Nigeria's first game in this Nations Cup
Change the formation
was changed formation.
Yes, I
From
noticed that.
4-3-3,
to 5.
he's playing a
5-4-1.
3-5-2 or 3-4-3, whereby he has those wing backs dropping, make a back five. If you're able to go through that, you'll score a goal.
Whatever
But
he's
you'll not.
doing, it's been working for Nigeria, and
And-
they have the perfect guy for it.
Yes.
Yes.
You have
Taking his
Victor Osimhen, that
responsibility.
he's not a lazy striker.
you suck?
That man is one of the
That's-
hardest
yeah.
working striker in the world, like Europe, Africa, anywhere. He just the way he plays his game, he does not stop running. He helps. The
But then
defense
I
out.
think one thing
Even
about
with all of-
Osimhen.
all that.
Go ahead,
He,
go ahead.
he was sobbed by Santos. So you see, he's taking his responsibility. He's sopping Osimhen.
Yeah.
Say, let me try this guy too. He wants to play.
He's not afraid.
And just penalty afterward. And something makes me fun. It was funny about that. After Osimhen scored that second goal, he was surprised that the referee even actually going back to look for the VAR, and that returned to be a penalty. against Nigeria. That South Africa came back 1-1. The game restarted from scratch.
Yeah.
Everyone was just like, well, why do we even
But
introduce
you know,
the
looking at
VAR?
talking about Osimhen, of course. If there was no VAR, maybe that goal, maybe it would have been 2-0.
Yeah, no VAR, that was
And all,
Yeah,
but
2-0.
but talking about Osimhen, I don't think he has netted any goal in this tournament.
He has.
You don't have to.
No,
You mean?
has he
As a striker?
scored? Did he score?
He
Aside
scored.
from
He
penalty.
scored, he scored the equalizer against Equatorial
the header.
Guinea.
Yeah.
He scored a
I
hat.
Against
think he has
Equatorial
scored
Guinea.
only one goal.
Yeah, but
he's
then
creating chances.
we are actually
He's a team.
expecting.
penalties.
team.
I'm just saying in general, with
Assisting.
regards to the caliber of striker that he is,
Yeah, but
we're expecting him to actually throw in more
chances are
goals
there.
behind
No,
the net.
the thing is this: Osimhen is a team player.
Yes.
Correct.
And when you have a team player is after the success of the team.
So more like a Firmino.
So
Yes.
yeah, so imagine Osimhen scoring 5 goals, like the guy from Equatorial Guinea, that is the current top scorer. Yes, everyone said Osimhen was, he's the current African Footballer of the Year.
Yep.
So he should be banging goals.
Yeah.
Yes.
But again, remember, if you check Nigeria's midfield, the quality of the midfielders we have are not the quality that can provide consistent service to Osimhen to score goals. And secondly, the system of play that Nigeria has had, Osimhen has created chances than score goals. And I think that's where he's also happy with it. If you see the way, he really wants to win the Afcon. So if he goes by, I want to just score goals, he will get frustrated. He might not score goals. Nigeria will lose.
He'll take the penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
if he
penalty-
wants to go,
yes,
he would take all
every
the
penalty that
penalties.
Nigeria have had this tournament.
True
Well,
second scored
yes.
like the Nigerian captain
Yeah.
has scored, I think, 2 goals.
goals.
But Osimhen could have let me take the penalty.
Let me take
Yeah.
all these penalties. And truly
But again, this
score,
is
you know.
exactly what I talk about.
That is a
like,
team
when it comes
play.
to ego, right? He put his ego aside.
Yeah.
Just his physical presence on the field alone just shows it all.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
And it was not even 100%
And
fit
then you have
against
the
South
opponent
Africa.
chasing him.
Yes.
That gives opportunity to Lukman and
Yeah, the goal that
around.
Lukman scored, one of the goals, it was a perfect
Yeah,
assist
and then
from him.
not just a perfect assist because he actually stood because he could have gone down.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
It was, like the tackle was actually very very crazy, but then
Yes,
he stood
yeah.
and then made the pass and all.
I think
like,
if Nigeria
awesome.
wins the final, Lukman will gonna be the
What
best
do you guys
player.
think about the finals tomorrow?
That's what I'm thinking.
The outcome with regards
it's
to
gonna
Ivory
be a
Coast.
beautiful final.
I think it's going to be very very open. I know that the entire
Nigeria
continent
will
is going to
stay
be watching.
conservative.
But I don't know we're gonna play penalty kick tomorrow. That is
Exactly,
still like
that was what I was
normal.
going to go to. Do we think it's
Yeah.
going to go to penalty
Because
shootout?
both teams have good striking.
No, I think Ivory
that-
Coast will come.
They're
Ivory
home.
Coast will come
They're
because
home.
they are home. They cannot.
they
They
have
cannot play.
motivation.
They cannot be conservative.
At all.
They cannot. Nigeria will have to stick
to the game plan.
to the grinding,
Yeah.
and then try to hit them on the counter.
And here's the thing, and I'm saying that right now. This is when Victor Osimhen will shine.
Yeah.
He will score in the finals, and the reason being is like because Nigeria they don't care. They would love to sit back, but then you want to sit back and leave 2 defenders against Osimhen. You don't want to do it. And because they have to push.
I'm a little bit afraid. Ivory Coast is now playing like what we used to say in French, le cadavre n'a plus peur de la mort, which means that a dead body does not fear cover. So where they're coming in like
They don't care.
yes. In fact, we were already even eliminated.
Mm.
What we play here is the win to win.
They
So
have
they're
not-
coming to win or win. There is nothing like defeat for them right now. So
They have nothing to
they have
lose.
great motivation. Nigeria has just to be wise. No, I don't know how it's gonna be, but
Yeah,
I think Super
I'm
Eagles are going to
seeing
be
that
fine
Game difficult
I think
for
it's gonna
Nigeria.
be like Jose versus Pep.
tomorrow.
Ivory Coast is gonna have a lot of the ball.
they have good ball playing
Yes.
footballers.
Yeah,
have,
they're gonna
in
have
the
a
middle,
lot of
that
the ball.
Casey,
Yeah.
Casey in the middle.
And I
is-
think that's where Nigeria has not really, besides Frank Onyeka, who they call the tank, because of his work rate in ball
Alex
recovery.
Alex
and
Iwobi.
It will be. I'm still yet to figure out what his good position is, whether he's a winger.
Should honestly,
or central
should
midfielder.
Iwobi be in
He
that
does not
squad?
shoot. He
Let's
cannot-
be honest.
He does not distribute the ball.
Should
guy?
Iwobi be in that squad?
Should it be? To balance the squad, yes.
With mediocre players, I'm saying, because
I think he balanced the
I'm
squad.
trying to understand what you're saying. Balance the squad with what?
There's certain players in any sport, right? Where it's like, if you look at it, you say, okay, well, this guy is not the most talented individual. He's not the most creative player.
Okay.
But the little things that he does,
Yeah.
like chasing back.
Yeah, that's
doing
work
that.
rate.
You know what I mean?
I
Where it's
will
like,
give him that.
Yes.
He's got
So-
that work
So he's
rate.
doing that.
Yes, he's
Yeah,
doing that for the
he's-
team.
he's doing that.
Right? It's
Okay.
like, okay, well, as a coach, I can tell him, hey, Iobi, the moment we kick that ball over, I need you to win that second ball when Osimhen knock it down. He will be the guy to do that. You get what I'm saying? There's little things like that.
He tracks fast too.
So it balances the team all over the place.
I think if Iwobi was not substituted against South Africa, we wouldn't have gone to extra time.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Because the guy that came in for him was the one that he was not yet into the game, and then he got that penalty.
It was warming up.
Yes. So that is one thing. And Iwobi doesn't have that ability to distribute balls like a normal midfielder would do, like have vision, like play the balls to Osimhen.
He's a side to side.
He's like side to side. In Fulham, he always on the left. Or sometimes he plays central midfield. In Arsenal, he was always on the wings. He was not a central midfielder, right? Because again, to be a good central midfielder, that Nigeria has had before, you have to look at JJ. You have to look at Sondolise. They can ping 50-yard passes. Iwobi doesn't do that. And that is one of the things Nigeria needs in its midfield.
Yeah, but
Now, the reason why he's playing ahead of Iheanacho, who can maybe ping that, is that Iheanacho will never do that defensive work Iwobi is doing.
Nah, Iheanacho will never run
Nigeria
back.
is playing, you need every hand on deck to do defensive work.
But think about where all of Nigeria goals have come from. On the wing.
On the wing.
They don't care about going through the middle. The middle is for you to stay there.
Yes,
Just,
and that's
when we lose
why
that ball, you close down.
Osimhen is not scoring.
Yeah, when we get the ball,
More
Lookman and
goals.
whoever the other winger is, you can see those guys are danger. Those are Nigeria's danger threat.
So with regards to tomorrow,
Yeah, we
Yes.
should be more
what are you?
efficient.
What are
on the
your?
wing.
What are your predictions? I mean, like with regards to going to penalties, or like we're actually winning, at regular time.
I
And
don't
then if
want
we're winning at
another
regular
penalty,
time, if we're winning at regular time, what do you think the score is going to be?
Well, my hope is that Nigeria wins.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my hope.
Okay.
From what I've seen, Ivory Coast, I think they are playing out of nationalism.
Okay.
Not because they are playing good football. Even in their quarterfinals, semi-finals, they almost nailed. They almost gave it up because they even got a penalty against them. I think in the quarterfinals,
Yeah.
that their goalkeeper saved. So
That is a good sign for them, bad sign for their adversary.
So what do you think is going to be? 2-0, 1-0, 3-0? You think we're going to?
Nigeria will
Like I'm
win.
just saying, yeah.
I want Nigeria to win.
You're saying Nigeria is going to win.
Nigeria is going to win.
Okay, so by
I
what?
hope so.
Like 1-0, 2-0, or what? Like, if you had to put your money where your mouth is, like where, like
Nigeria will win.
2-1.
I don't want that goalkeeper to concede again, so that he can also take the Golden Glove.
Oh, okay. I thought you were critical against him, ja, but
No. The goalkeeper has been the best goalkeeper of the tournament.
Okay.
Um,
All right, coach. Give us your score. Give us the score.
I think
Onana
2-0.
follower.
2-0 for Nigeria.
Okay.
On the
How about you?
counter
How about you,
attack.
Ogi? What do you
He said
what do you
Iwobi is
think?
going to score. So sorry, Osimhen is going to score.
What do you think? How do you think it's going to go tomorrow?
I think if we just basing it off just regular time, my prediction would be 1-0 Nigeria. And the reason being is Ivory Coast, they're really good at going forward.
Okay.
But again, it's not
Yeah,
It's
their
not
defense
just-
is also
right.
weak.
Those Nigeria
Speed.
wingers are very, very good. So I can see them getting behind Ivory Coast defense on the Osimhen tapping the winner in, I think. But if it goes to overtime, I think it's 2-1 Nigeria. I don't want Nigeria to win, though, by the way. I just think
Oh, you don't want Nigeria to win, but
yes,
you think
I just think the way the coach have these guys drill and set up, they just that's the way to win a tournament.
Okay.
They're very
That's true.
disciplined from
That's true.
front to back.
Yeah.
The goalie is solid, the defense is solid. Going forward, they don't, they have limited mistakes. The mistakes are very limited. So and every chance they have, they make something out of it. So
Yeah.
I can see them costing, being a 1-0 scoreline in 90 minutes.
and down to the last man, so.
Yeah, we want Nigeria to win.
So you want Nigeria to win?
Let's say from what I've been hearing from the left to the right, We want Nigeria to win.
Okay.
But the reality from the sentence that I just mentioned earlier, and with this Diakite guy coming back, that guy is playing like a robot. Is the guy who made Ivory Coast win 10 versus 11 against Mali. He would take the entire side like this alone.
Mali is not Nigeria.
And he has power. So
He will meet rocks.
yeah, I know. And that's why I'm just like, it's so difficult for me to say Nigeria gonna win. But I'm seeing
It's going to be a tough game.
it's gonna be tough. But I'm seeing Ivory Coast winning this final.
Oh, you're saying Ivory Coast winning final? Awesome.
Sorry?
You're saying Ivory Coast winning?
Yeah, I'm seeing Ivory Coast winning the
You guys
final.
getting my
What's your
blood hot.
prediction?
Sorry?
What's
So what's your prediction? What's your
Like
what's your
2-1?
prediction?
2-1?
2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
Awesome.
2-1.
Awesome.
That's a
Awesome.
bold prediction.
Man,
It's,
Nigeria conceding 2 goals with that defense.
well, we'll see.
yeah.
Hopefully tomorrow you guys are watching it, at I think
Yeah,
there's
we
some
will be squashing, supporting Nigeria.
who
But
you?
they-
Who are the way? You just said Ivory Coast will win. What's wrong
No,
with you?
it's not like
Stay on your lane now.
No, what I want is
No, you see,
No,
you
no.
could actually want somebody to win, but then you're just being realistic with regards to what
yes,
is on
it's
paper.
like me going to
So
bet,
I think
me
he's not
going to
doing make
put my money.
believe. You understand?
Cameroon
Okay.
is playing Brazil. I'm going to put my money that Cameroon gonna win Brazil. That doesn't work like that.
What do you want
Alright.
I
Cameroon?
bet money Brazil gonna win, but,
But
come
you
back
want-
and support Cameroon.
Yes, but you want Cameroon to win.
I want Cameroon to win.
But you know they're not gonna
But
win.
I know the reality because look at the statistic. You bet your money Brazil gonna win this.
Exactly. He's actually putting his
Yeah,
money on
you
paper.
don't want to
Yeah,
put
he's
your
right.
money, but you can accept the defeat.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I actually respect that perspective, like 1,000%. And then, honestly, because of the way we're going to put this, it's going to be like the title of this is going to be an Afcon review, from a Nigerian, a Liberian, supporting Guinea, and the Cameroonian. So definitely, I believe that, and because of how deep you guys are into sports, into football, there will be people that would see this and want to follow you guys up personally. I mean, with regards to your experience, or even want to, it could be have training sessions and all with you guys. So it would be awesome for you guys to, let them know how to find you guys on social media. I believe you guys are all on Instagram and all. And kudos to you guys for always replying promptly. So sir, how can they find you on Instagram so that it could be that some other Cameroonians are watching this. You don't tell them that your father played in national team. Let them know your father.
Even my colleagues here do not know about my history.
Oh, do you know?
And the history of-
Do you know his dad played in the national team?
I did not
No,
know.
you told me a long time ago.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
His dad played in the Cameroon national
But
team.
that is those type of legend that we would like probably to protect.
Mm.
But people playing soccer now, they're playing soccer where there is a lot of money.
Mm.
But when our father was playing, there was no money in football. But they give you 10, like say, 10 mil, which is like $10 or $20. That was a lot of
That's
money.
been
in
a
the
long
past.
time ago.
So otherwise, I would have been here with you guys. I would have been so.
This is sir. So how can they find you, sir, on Instagram?
So,
what's your IG? What's your Instagram handle?
It is Inusa Sangu. I think most of your followers followed Kali. If you get to Kali, then you get to me. Kali is the most popular guy that I
No,
know.
we'll put your thing on the video. How about
Yeah.
you, Augie?
Well, you guys can
Thank
find
you.
my Instagram is B_United14.
Oh, the Man United man.
So United for life. So
Oh, okay. I actually thought you were Arsenal,
game,
though.
right?
yeah, we have games.
11.
How about you, coach? How can you find you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram and as well my YouTube. Well, in 3 places you can find me. Okay, let me just stick to Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah.
On Instagram, my personal handle is chidiebube_emenonye.
Okay.
And also, my football Instagram is Global Premier Football,
Okay.
where you can find me.
Global Premier.
And on my YouTube, you can also check out Global Premier Football Show on
Okay.
YouTube. Yeah.
Awesome.